Imagine waking up one day and realizing that reality is not what you thought it was. That the life you're living, the choices you make, the world events unfolding around you, they aren't random. They've been shaped, designed, co-created by those who understand how to manipulate the unseen forces of reality. The most powerful people in the world aren't just wealthy or well-connected. They've mastered something far more potent. They know how to bend reality in their favor. But here's the catch. So can you. To understand how the elite wield this hidden force, we first need to uncover the science behind it. This isn't superstition, wishful thinking, or self-help fluff. It's quantum mechanics, psychology, and ancient wisdom combined. The truth is, reality is not fixed. It is fluid, responding to consciousness, energy, and intention. Scientists proved this with the infamous double-slit experiment, which showed that a particle's behavior changes simply because it's being observed. In other words, the act of perception itself alters physical reality. Now, let's take this a step further. If observation shapes reality at a quantum level, what happens when millions of people focus on the same event, the same belief, the same fear? The elite understand this principle better than anyone. They engineer mass consciousness through the news, social media, entertainment, and politics. They don't just predict the future. They manufacture it by controlling the thoughts and emotions of the collective. Think about it. Why do global crises always seem to trigger the same emotional responses? Fear, scarcity, division. Why are people constantly bombarded with negativity, uncertainty, and powerlessness? Because when you keep the masses in a low vibrational state, you keep them from realizing their true creative power. But here's where things get interesting. Just as they use these principles to control reality, you can use them to break free. And once you understand the hidden mechanisms at play, you'll never see the world the same way again. If reality responds to consciousness, then the question becomes, whose consciousness is shaping your world? The answer is unsettling. If you're not actively creating your reality, someone else is doing it for you. The elite have known this for centuries, and they use this knowledge to ensure that the masses remain passive participants in their own existence. But how do they do it? Through the most powerful tool ever devised: belief systems. Look at any major religion, political ideology, or societal norm, and you'll find the same blueprint. A set of ideas designed to dictate what is possible and what is not. They shape what you believe about money, success, relationships, and even your own limitations. If you think wealth is only for the lucky, if you believe power is only for the chosen few, then you'll never challenge the system that keeps you where you are. And that's exactly the point. Take a look at history. Every empire, every ruling class, every dominant force has maintained power not just through military strength, but through controlling perception. Ancient rulers claimed divine right to rule. Religious institutions dictated who could access spiritual knowledge. Even today, media and education shape what people accept as truth. But here's the part they don't want you to know. Reality itself is neutral. It only takes shape based on what you believe to be true. This is why the elite obsess over symbols, rituals, and secret societies. They aren't just indulging in strange traditions. They are reinforcing a collective belief system that directs energy toward their desired outcomes. Ever notice how certain symbols appear in corporate logos, government institutions, and pop culture? These aren't coincidences. They are sigils, encoded messages designed to influence mass consciousness. But here's the ultimate secret. You don't need their permission to create your own reality. You've been conditioned to think that manifestation is about wishful thinking, when in reality, it's a precise science that they have mastered and kept hidden. And if you want to take back control, you must first deprogram yourself from the illusions they've created. If you've ever felt trapped in a life you didn't choose, there's a reason for that. The elite don't just manipulate reality, they manufacture it. And they do it using one of the most powerful forces in existence: collective consciousness. You see, reality isn't shaped by one individual's thoughts alone. It's influenced by the dominant beliefs of the majority. That's why the elite focus their efforts on controlling what the masses think, feel, and believe. The more people buy into a single idea, the stronger it becomes. And once a belief is deeply embedded into society, it becomes an unshakable truth. Think about it. Why do certain historical figures, philosophies, or scientific discoveries get erased or discredited while others are glorified? Why is some knowledge freely available, while other teachings are ridiculed or hidden? Because the ideas you're exposed to determine the limits of your reality. Take money, for example. Most people are programmed to believe that wealth comes only from hard work, luck, or being born into the right family. But the elite, they understand that wealth is an energetic frequency, a state of mind. That's why they don't chase money, they attract it. They use rituals, affirmations, and visualization techniques to align themselves with abundance, while simultaneously teaching the masses that these practices are nonsense. The same applies to power. You've been told that influence is reserved for politicians, CEOs, or celebrities. But what if you knew that your voice, your thoughts, and your energy have the power to shift reality just as much as theirs? The only difference is they've trained themselves to believe it, and they've trained you not to. And here's where it gets even more interesting. The elite don't just use these principles individually. They use group rituals, secret meetings, and mass media events to collectively reinforce their shared reality. This is why symbols, language, and repetition are so crucial. Every time you see the same imagery in movies, music, news, or corporate logos, your subconscious is being programmed to accept their vision of reality. But what happens when you reverse engineer their methods? What happens when you break free from their narrative and start rewriting your own? That's where the real shift begins. Here's where things get even more fascinating. The elite don't just influence reality, they script it. They understand that the human mind is highly programmable, and they've mastered the art of embedding subconscious commands into everyday life. Think about it. Why do world leaders, corporations, and media giants all use the same symbols, phrases, and imagery? Because repetition is one of the most powerful tools for shaping perception. The more you see something, the more real it becomes in your mind. And once it's embedded in your subconscious, it starts shaping your actions, without you even realizing it. Let's take fear as an example. The most effective way to control a population is by keeping them in a constant state of stress and uncertainty. When people are fearful, they stop thinking critically. They become easier to manipulate, more willing to accept control, and less likely to challenge authority. And here's the key. Fear lowers your vibration. It disrupts your ability to manifest your own reality because it keeps you locked in survival mode. And when you're stuck in survival mode, guess what happens? You unknowingly co-create the very system that keeps you trapped. The elite know this, which is why they use fear-based narratives in news cycles, entertainment, and even education. They bombard you with images of scarcity, conflict, and disaster, because the more you focus on these things, the more you reinforce them in the collective consciousness. But there's a way out. You can reclaim your power by learning to consciously direct your focus. The first step is recognizing that your attention is your greatest asset. Every thought you dwell on, every story you accept as true, is energy being funneled into a reality that you are helping to create. So here's a challenge. For the next 24 hours, pay close attention to where your focus goes. Are you feeding a reality of abundance, strength, and sovereignty? Or are you unconsciously reinforcing a system designed to keep you small? The moment you take control of your attention, you begin unplugging from their narrative and stepping into your own power. And once you do that, you'll see just how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Now that you see the game for what it is, you have a choice. Will you continue being a passive player, unknowingly feeding the system that thrives on your energy? Or will you reclaim your ability to co-create on your own terms? Because make no mistake, the elite don't have powers that you don't. They've simply mastered what has been hidden from the masses for centuries: the science of intention, vibration, and belief. Let's break this down into something practical. If fear is their greatest weapon, then your greatest defense is awareness and conscious creation. That means deliberately choosing what you consume, what you believe, and where you direct your energy. Start with this. Rewrite the program. The elite shape reality through repeated messages, so you must do the same, but in a way that serves you. Begin by crafting affirmations that align with the reality you want. Speak them out loud every morning and night as if they are already true. Example: instead of unconsciously absorbing ideas like, "money is hard to make," replace it with, "wealth flows to me effortlessly." Instead of, "the world is falling apart," say, "I am surrounded by opportunities and infinite possibilities." It may seem small, but repeated thoughts become dominant beliefs, and dominant beliefs shape reality. Next, detach from low-vibration media. The news, the movies, the viral social media trends, everything is designed to capture and direct your focus toward conflict, division, and scarcity. Reduce your exposure. Instead, immerse yourself in knowledge that expands your mind and raises your energy. Read books like The Kybalion or Think and Grow Rich, which reveal the mechanics of consciousness and wealth creation. And finally, take action as if you are already free. The elite system thrives because people believe they need permission to succeed, to be happy, to create. You don't. Start operating as the version of yourself who already has what you desire. Walk, talk, and think like that person now. Reality follows belief, not the other way around. This is the secret they never wanted you to know. The same force they use to control the world is the force you can use to break free from it. And once you truly grasp that, everything changes.